What's up, everybody? This is Nick Atkin on South China Morning Post in Hong Kong. I got my man John Hyun over on the right, and we've got Victoria Lee in the middle there. Congratulations, Victoria! Your second win in one championship. Lovely first round submission. You called your shot, didn't you? When we spoke to you last week, you said, "I'm going to submit this girl in the first round."
Yep. I was so happy that I was able to come out with the first round submission, and it was nice because I was able to hear my dad in the stadium because it was so empty. So it was really nice.
John was doing our live stream. What did you call her? Mystic Vic? Is that right?
Yes, Mr. Vic. That's your new nickname, I guess, because you predicted the finish in the first round. I wanted to talk about the walkout because you just looked vicious before you even got in there to fight. Like, what was going through your mind?
Um, when I was walking, whenever I go on the walkout, that's when I feel like the most nerves and the most pressure. So I just try my best to stay calm and try and clear my mind and just like only focus on the fight and just remember the plan.
Did you execute the plan the way you expected? Because when you ran in initially, I believe you fell to the ground. Take us through that part of the fight.
In the beginning, I when I rushed in, I got a little off balance and I fell, but I got back up and it was just one step closer to our final motion, to closing the distance and getting the submission. So it was a little setback, but it was okay. I was able to come back from it.
Can you tell us what it felt like compared to the first fight? The emotions, the pressure. Was the pressure not as big as the first fight?
I would say leading up to it, the main difference I felt was in fight week. There was a lot less pressure, and even like warming up before I walked out, I was a lot more calm and just familiar with the whole process. Of course, when I got to the walkout and I got inside the cage, there was moments where I would feel a lot of pressure, but just like in my last fight, just breathing really helped to calm me and clear my mind, and so I could think clearly and just focus on the match.
Did you manage to find a donut? I think you were searching for donuts after the fight.
Not last night. Krispy Kreme was closed, but this morning,
Damn.
me and my parents got donuts.
That's great. Yeah. What did Ken make of it? Your coach and your father. What did he say after the fight to you?
Right after the fight, both my parents congratulated me and they just told me how proud they were, and I'm so grateful for them. Like without them, this would not have been possible. They really have done so much for me, and I appreciate them so much for it.
Yeah. What about Angela, Christian? I imagine you were FaceTiming them or straight away.
Yeah, as soon as we got back to the hotel, we did a group call with my brothers and my sister, and it was so nice to see them. They stayed up to 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, even though they had training the next day. And it was so nice to talk to them, see the babies too. It was such a nice feeling.
I'll throw it back to John. If you got any more questions, John.
Of course, in the fight, when you started to grapple with Lu Ping, did she have better grappling, better defense than you expected?
Going into this match, I didn't know what to expect. I haven't seen any footage of her training, or I only been able to see short clips. So I kind of went in with the mentality like it's a tournament. You don't know your opponent or what skills they have. You just have your plan and you just try and implement your plan. So um, I didn't have a expectation of where her wrestling or grappling was at. So when I took her down and was grappling with her, I wasn't. She was. It was as I expected. It went according to plan.
It met your expectations of what you wanted to do
Hmm.
with this submission, right? And like moving forward, what do you expect? Like, what kind of opponent do you want next? Because everybody's throwing around names, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. So do you have anybody you want to fight?
Um, no, I've never been one to call out names or anything. I just want to stay as busy as possible and compete as much as I can, because I love competing. And as for the opponents, I have to leave that up to my dad, my coach.
And you mentioned that you didn't watch any film of her, you just saw clips. Is that something that you've always done and you will be doing in your fights in the future, or is that something you just did for this fight because you just couldn't find any footage?
That was just something we did for this fight. For my last match, I was able to study the tape, because tape always helps you. You're more familiar with their tendencies, but we just couldn't find any footage because she competed out of an organization that didn't release their videos.
Right now you're on summer vacation, so when you get back to Hawaii, like, what do you do as a teenager? You know what I mean? Like, how do your friends react to what you're doing right now? That's what I want to know. You know, if I had a friend in high school that was fighting professionally, I don't know how I would react to that. How did they react?
My friends are so supportive of me. They're always sending me messages, congratulating me, wishing me good luck before the match. And like, what we do for fun is we go around the island, go to the beach, and we just eat a lot of food. So when we get back, we're going to do a road trip around the island and just pig out.
I was talking to Jackie Buntan, and she was telling me that when she goes out with her friends, she's like the unofficial bodyguard. Is that the situation with you too?
No, not really. No, like, when I'm with my friends, they don't really they don't really like recognize it. I'm just like normal, you know. They don't really. It's not any different, and I'm glad it's like that.
Well, yeah, Victoria, I just wanted to ask you as well. Do you have any date in mind you're thinking of coming back, or you want to get another one in this year?
I would love to compete. Maybe at the end of this year, 1 or 2 more times. It kind of depends on my brother's schedule, my brother's and my sister's fight schedule too. But yeah, I would love to compete 1 or 2 more times this year.
Well, yeah, we've got finally the Atomweight Grand Prix has been confirmed again. We got another date for that, September 3rd. Your sister will obviously be keeping a very close eye on that. Have you spoken to her? Did she say anything about the Grand Prix?
No, we haven't talked about the Grand Prix yet. She's just we've just been talking about our celebration meals.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it helps her a little bit knowing when it's going to start now, because maybe that's going to help her have a rough date in her mind when she needs to, when she's going to be back, right?
Definitely, it helps to have a timeline of how things are gonna go. But I think that my sister is just taking her, uh, just listening to her body as she makes her way back in, because she's going to be coming in as the world champion, and her first fight back is going to be against the #1 contender. I think it's really important that she takes the time to recover properly so that she can be 100% when she makes her return back to the cage.
And are you sort of keeping your eye on this thing as well? Are you seeing these as, future opponents for you? Obviously, it's the same division. Yeah, how much interest do you have? And there was also another fight on your card, Ritu Fogat beating Lin He Quinn. Yeah, how much do you analyze these fights in your division?
I'm definitely keeping an eye on the Atomweight Grand Prix and other competitors in my division, because they could all be possible fights for me. I don't know if I'll be facing anyone in the Grand Prix anytime soon, since I'm only on my second fight. But I'm excited for it to start. I think everyone's been waiting a really long time for it, and it's going to be a lot of exciting matchups. So I'm excited for it to start.
And you mentioned Christian there. He's still kind of roughly looking to defend that belt again at the end of this year, and I imagine you'll be playing a part in that camp if he does.
Yeah, my brother is gonna return to the cage before the end of this year to defend his title. I don't really play too much too much of a big in his camp. It's
Yeah.
my dad, my little brother Adrian, and Bruno is his main training partners. So I'm there for
But yeah, I
moral
imagine
support.
your moral support. Yeah, of course. It's obviously such a close knit family, isn't it? I mean, how much does that play a role in all of your success?
That is like 100% of my success. They help me so much in like every way, you know, mentally, for like giving me advice, talking to me, physically training, even like the nutrition. My mom holding me back after weigh-ins, like just wait till after the fight because it's so hard to control yourself to not just eat everything. So yeah.
The attention that you're getting at your age, right, with fighting and the interviews you have to do, does it get easier for you doing, media and doing this type of stuff, ahead of fights and after fights?
I think it does get easier. Sometimes. I guess it just depends. Some interviews are easier than others. I would say that the live ones are the hardest,
Mhm.
but I'm just trying my best and trying to not mess up.
You have two new additions to the family. How much babysitting are you doing?
Oh my goodness. I guess that was the babies were a big part of this camp, you know? Aside from the hard training and stuff, on the days when I felt completely dead and drained, seeing them and they're just so adorable and it really lifts my mood and you can't like be dead and drained and like around them. It's just impossible. When you see them, you smile and they're trying to talk to you and it just melts your heart. So they were um just as big part of the camp as every other member of my family.
Nice, nice. All right,
All
well,
right. Yeah. Victoria Lee, thank you so much for speaking to us. Yeah, it's been a pleasure again. And I'm sure we will catch up with you again this year, hopefully, if you have one more fight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with a